Welcome to Nonprofit Strength and Conditioning. I'm Skip Lockwood of QL3 Strategies, and we provide performance enhancement for nonprofits. Today's workout is Technology and Your Employee Handbook. One of the most important business documents in your organization is the Employee Manual or Handbook. The manual covers policies and procedures from dress codes, pay schedules, and explanations of benefits to operating hours and leave guidelines. The primary purpose of this document is to inform and educate employees, but a secondary function is to explicitly lay out how employees and the employer interact with each other. A set of policies that is often overlooked when constructing the manual are related to tech. Technology is intimately intertwined in the effective and efficient operation of a nonprofit, and as such affects both employees and employers. The Employee Manual is the appropriate place to address many important digital issues. Today we will look at 4 policies and procedures that you may want to add to your organization's handbook. Policy number 1. Unless approved by a team leader, all business conducted digitally should be conducted on organization-issued email, software, and equipment. With the wealth of software applications that are available and the fact that many employees use a combination of equipment, including tablets, phones, and laptops, this policy may appear overly restrictive and a bit old-fashioned. However, if critical data is only accessible to the employee, it is not backed up regularly, and may be subject to deletion, the organization may lose mission-critical operational data. Also, applications owned and licensed by the nonprofit should be in compliance with copyright and licensing, whereas outside software may not be or may have restrictive or punitive terms. Employees need to understand that emails and other work product are owned by the organization and must be fully accessible to the organization via its work systems. Which brings us to Policy 2. The organization owns all data and work product produced by the employee during his or her tenure. Employees may keep copies of his or her work, but they may not delete or remove materials. This policy is first and foremost a straightforward statement of product ownership, so there is no misunderstanding. Some nonprofits have found themselves in painful positions when an employee has taken data either knowingly or unknowingly. Sadly, there are also situations during a difficult separation where data may be used as leverage. Policy number 2 provides some legal protection to the nonprofit and its data. I'm going to take a second here to advocate for nonprofits to actively seek and secure pro bono legal services before they find themselves in a legal jam. A relationship built with a firm or with lawyers with whom the organization is already associated will save money, prevent losses, and will put the nonprofit on a stronger operational footing. It is good practice to have your handbook reviewed by an HR professional and a lawyer every once in a while to make sure the manual's policies are in order. Policy number 3. It is the organization's policy to regularly back up all data. Naturally, regular backups protect data in case of data breach, natural disaster, or digital breakdown. However, backups also preserve the history of the organization. Searching through backups allow current employees to access the institutional knowledge of prior employees. Backups are also quite handy in the event of audits, regulatory proceedings, and legal proceedings. Backups don't work when they don't have access to all the information. Every machine and piece of software used in the nonprofit's work must be backed up by the nonprofit's systems. Finally, Policy number 4. Management and team leaders will establish data boundaries for the organization. Employees are expected to honor those boundaries. In the event that an employee must cross data boundaries, he or she must receive permission from his or her team leader. Every employee from the front desk to the CEO deals with data. Current software interconnectivity makes it easy to move data around quickly and distribute it widely. Protecting the privacy of donors, clients, website users, and other people involved with your nonprofit means that every team member should not have access to all data. First, boundaries help prevent inappropriate access and viewing. It is perfectly appropriate for the development assistant to see the contact information for the celebrities attending the fundraising event, but not for the front desk to have open access to the same information. Similarly, the program director does not need unfettered access to the financial data, the same as the CEO and accountant. Unrestricted access to data is a recipe for compromising data integrity. Too many cooks in the kitchen leads to incorrect data, recurring mistakes, and worst of all, accidents that can delete or distribute data. If your organization handles medical information, it is highly likely that you are subjected to federal HIPAA guidelines, which may have expensive penalties for failing to protect sensitive data. At the end of the day, your organization needs to classify the different types of data it keeps and create a matrix for indicating what data is available to which team or employees. Your IT professionals will then need to establish the electronic structure to realize what has been mapped out on paper. It is also worth noting that to fulfill the privacy guidelines for the Better Business Bureau or Charity Navigator, your organization's privacy statement must be consistent with how your nonprofit actually handles data. The tech policies we have discussed will establish a baseline of data protections for your employee handbook. As your organization grows or operations become more sophisticated, your manual will need to reflect those changes. I hope that you've enjoyed today's workout and found nonprofit strength and conditioning useful. Contact QL3 Strategies at www.ql3strategies.com to talk about how we can enhance your nonprofit's performance.